Hello, today I am live with Susan Axelrod, and she is the confidence coach. I'm very excited to talk with her. She's also an author, she's a speaker, and she's somebody who knows how to help you with some of those big mindset blocks that are stopping you in your business from putting yourself out there, which is one of the biggest things I hear, Susan, is people want to put themselves out there more, but they're afraid of what if I get rejected? What if people don't like it? What if nobody comments or says anything or nothing happens with all of this? Or fear of visibility, right? So, on this Health Coach Nation podcast, we're going to dig into that. Before we do, I just want to quickly introduce myself. My name's Haley Rowe. I'm a marketing and sales coach and strategist. And on this show, we cover marketing, sales, time management, and mindset tips for coaches and wellness professionals. So, Susan, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me. I've been following you, Haley, and I just want to say I so appreciate how much you are the real deal.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I appreciate you for checking out the show. So tell us a little bit about what made you want to even focus on confidence with clients.
I was a fundraiser for 30 plus years in my career. And because I was so lucky, I felt deeply impassioned about my work, helping donors make a meaningful difference through their philanthropy. Over the years, I became really good at what I did. I raised a lot of money for different organizations because I started so young, Haley. I was 22 when I got into the field. By 35, 36, 37, which is young in my book today at age 63, I had really been doing this for a long time. Over that time, I started writing and publishing in the industry literature, and I felt having authentic, deep conversations with donors was the thing that helped them make a joyful, charitable gift. Over time, I learned to trust myself, Haley. Later, after 30 plus years in that single industry, I began to look at 50 and coming into and through that landmark, milestone age. I began to look ahead. And many people had told me for years, you should be a life coach. This was already going back many years. And in those days, I never had worked with a life coach. I wasn't that familiar with it. Eventually, coming into what I call the second half, Haley, the second half of life, I looked ahead to ask myself, how do you want to continue your impact to leave a lasting legacy? And I decided I would try this coaching thing. I spent a summer in my screened porch working with people, coaching either for free or very low fees. I was working in the online business model. I made a lot of mistakes. I was trying, just like you said in the introduction, you try a lot of things and you fail, a lot. And that was part of my journey. But the one thing that people said when I asked them, how do you feel when you work with me, or having worked with me, how do you feel? The answer was confidence. I didn't set out to become a confidence coach, Haley. I became a confidence coach because, first of all, I was in my maturity. And secondly, I learned to trust my intuition. And the reason that I am fierce about working with millennials, the way I met you was through the Millennial Life Coaches platform. The reason I'm fierce is in those days, not a lot of people said to me, trust your intuition, and AKA trust yourself. And that is really my thing now, Haley. That's how I sort of got to where I am, how I've published 7 books. I'm about to publish my 8th book in the next week or two, and became a confident speaker. And everything that I do starts with the word confident because of intuition.
Yes, I love that. So when somebody is getting into business and they want to start to make videos or they want to start to sell their service, but they have this I'm new type of energy, like, well, I can't say I've helped 400 people. And they feel like what I hear a lot is I'll just feel confident after I've worked with several clients or after blank. And until then, I can't, like, it's really hard for me to go live or do these things because I feel like I can't back it up, or I can't, you know, be confident because I need more experience first, which I do think experience plays a huge role in confidence. But what does somebody do as they're gathering experience to still appear as confident, because people aren't going to want to work with them if they're really wishy-washy?
Well, let's parse this out. First of all, you and I agree. Experience, failing forward to successes leads to confidence. Do the work. That summer that I just mentioned, I am not kidding. I had been in my full-time career, as I indicated, first as a practitioner, then a consultant for many years, so I could have some flexibility with my school-age children. And then I became a fundraising coach. And then I moved into the world of life coaching. I am not kidding when I say that one summer I spent 10 weeks. I happened to have a lovely screen porch. I was lucky. I left my contract position. I had a couple of long-term contract positions at that point, and I spent time doing it. So the first thing is get to it. Get to doing the thing, the service you want to do. If you're creating a product, then share your product around. But, we're in the service industry as coaches. I know you have coaches in your audience. And so I want to say, get to it, practice, and also find a mentor, an advisor, or hire a coach like you, Haley. I really mean it when I say I've been following you. I listened to your masterclass recently, or whatever you called it, and I'm like taking notes in between cooking dinner. That's the truth. So I want to say, follow a trusted mentor, advisor, or coach. Second, don't do something that you don't feel deep in your gut. Okay. Don't do something you don't feel. Haley, this is one of the reasons I have my own business method, the intuitive business system. I don't learn, so I have never learned someone else's coaching method, Tony Robbins or any of these people, Brene Brown. Not that there's anything wrong with them, God forbid. No, it's just that as I got into it, I showed myself as real. Now, regarding and my own method developed. Regarding the question, how do I get into visibility if I don't have a lot of experience? I advocate for authentic conversation on lives of any sort. Lives become recorded videos. I advocate for a real conversation, such as, I'm doing this, my friends. Wow, this is harder than I thought. This is not easy for me, but I'm doing this because I feel impassioned about fill in the blank. So that's my style, Haley. It's worked well for me. I literally have an archived podcast called Webcam Confidence for Women. It's on my YouTube channel, In the Confidence Zone with Susan Axelrod, and people can go to that. That's why I did that podcast. You cannot get confident without authenticity of your voice and your gut, which to me is what I call soul connection, and what you'll hear in my podcast, practice, practice, practice.
Yes, 100%. And there's no way of skipping that. You have to start somewhere. You're probably going to be nervous the very first time you do something. And I love what you said. Just kind of call it out. Hey, this is my first time doing this. I'm a little nervous, but we're going to get through it. And I'm really passionate about blah, blah, blah. And let that passion take over and be the main thing. So what about when somebody is thinking imposter syndrome? Well, there's so many other people out there better than me. Who would want to listen to me? What would you say to that?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to say I get it. In my work, I call it a soul connection. If you are doing something that has like risen up in you, you're so convicted. Haley, I've read your bios. I've watched some of your material. I know you've evolved yourself. as a coach, as a, content producer, and, with your business system and all the things. And so none of us necessarily, hopefully, stay where we start. We evolve. I have my next book is coming out. It's called Your Mind is Yours. And in it, I teach a formula that I learned many years ago that I turned into a formula. And it's thoughts are things. Thoughts are things, plus you can control things, plus or equals you can control your thoughts. And so you work with a lot of health and wellness coaches. So I'm also trained in this as an integral wellness coach and consultant through Qigong. So using your breath to come in and allow yourself, your mind to calm down, to ask yourself honest questions, be honest back with yourself and say, am I an imposter? That might not be what you thought I might say, Haley, but the truth is you can overcome imposter syndrome by asking yourself, AKA your soul, am I an imposter? Because if I think I am, then I better do a little more. Hire a coach, get advice, follow a trusted source, read, write, pray, meditate, whatever it is. And so imposter syndrome is real. We've all experienced it. I've experienced it. I learn and grow every day. You're much younger than I am. I'm saying I've learned from you and I've appreciated it. The people on the Millennial Life Coaches platform, most of them are younger than I am. I'm listening to them. I'm following them. I'm learning from them. And that's part of how you can overcome imposter syndrome. Ask yourself the question, am I? And listen to your gut and connect with your soul. Do you understand what I mean, Haley?
Yeah, I love that. I mean, I think anybody who's questioning, am I an imposter? It's usually not. It's usually the people who are like, huh, I am definitely not an imposter, and they are very cocky. I think those are probably the people who may even be ones, right? So I think, as you said, connecting with what are your intentions and how can you serve people, and focusing on that and less on, how are people going to see me, or making it about you. And the other thing I hear, Susan, is sometimes clients come to me and they're very confident about their coaching, about their craft, but they're not confident selling it. They're not confident making any offers, any call to action, that they label themselves that, I'm just not a marketing person or a sales person. How did you, because you've had to sell your own services and your books and all of that, how did you start to shift into being confident with sales and marketing?
Okay, I'm gonna totally reveal my style is revelational. I'm not all that any more than is my experience, Haley. I have someone who has become a good friend, Cornelia Stephanie. Many years ago, I was invited to be a speaker on her summit. Oh gosh, I don't even remember what year, 2015 maybe, and she was giving us the opportunity to make an offer. I'm going to tell you the God's honest truth, Haley. However old I was then, I was old. I was mature. I wasn't a child. I'm 63 now, so I was mature. I cried. I'm not kidding, Haley. She's so loving and kind. It's ridiculous. But she was like, okay, what's happening here? And the truth is, I got emotional because I was so exactly what you say, deeply impassioned about what I was doing. That part wasn't the problem. But one of the things that happens is the truth, Haley, which is we don't really have our offers together. We don't really have it together. Do you know what I mean? We don't have the offer streamlined, able to be easily accessed. Maybe we're offering something we've never done. Honestly, Haley, I cannot wait till the Millennial Life Coaches Summit in the middle of March, because I'm going to offer people the opportunity to take my business system class. And I can't wait to do it. So I want to ask people listening or watching, how do you feel about your offer, like I literally cannot wait. I love my business class, Haley. It's so great. It's so impactful. I offer it person to person, or I offer it only in small groups. It's never big. Everything I do is intimate. And I can't wait. I'm so excited because I'm thinking about the people who are going to take it and how they're truly going to be helped. So I have a confidence selling is inside my business class. One of the modules that I teach is confidence selling. I learned from Wendy Lipton Dibner many, many years ago, going back to 2012 or 13. Impact is the new currency. I can call out Wendy every day till I die with gratitude for how she showed. I attended a 3-day speaking thing that she did, and how she showed herself. She was like this big speaker and all the things that I dreamt about being, and how on the stage that day she showed herself as real. I will never, ever forget that experience. And I have emulated her and called it out ever since. Haley, I feel like I'm literally, I have to tell Wendy this, like I'm channeling her voice. When you think about the impact, oh my gosh, I'm laughing, Haley, because this is really what I learned from someone else whom I followed. When you think about the impact, you, in my language, you feel more confident. That's the end game, Haley. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I love it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to really be sold on love your offer and the changes it's going to make in somebody's life so that you feel more confident selling it and promoting it. Because if you feel like, if you almost feel like it should be a disservice if you don't share it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh, all the people who may suffer or continue to suffer with this, if they don't hear about this, it's my job or duty or responsibility to share this.
I totally agree. And I just want to go down into one fine point. And that is, you learned somewhere along the way to call it the offer. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I want to use this moment, bring it in, people, listen and pay attention. An offer is an offer, AKA an opportunity. A sale is a sale. And the problem is, I'm a fundraiser by training. I've gotten a million no's in my life. I've raised millions of dollars for nonprofit organizations. I've sold my whole career. I've been self-employed as a consultant, gosh, since 1999. And I went from consulting to fundraising coaching to confidence coaching. So I've gotten a million no's. And the selling part is the blocking part. I hate selling. Honestly, inside my business class, and in my book, I'm just writing my textbook for my business class. And it says, if you hate selling, don't go into business for yourself. Full stop. Right? I mean, like, if you're in business for yourself as a coach or any service provider or whatever, don't hate selling, love selling. All my clients know I'll sell today till Tuesday, till next Tuesday, because exactly what you said.
Yeah. And I'm hearing you use words like impact and like an offer is an invitation, or it's like an opportunity. You said opportunity. I love that word. Yeah. That feels a whole lot better than saying, oh, sales is pushing someone. Sales is convincing someone, right? I mean, and that's how some people see sales, which of course it makes sense why they wouldn't like it, right?
Yeah. And the thing is that I call it confident selling. So as I said, everything, when you already, and I know that when you are in the space of loving what you do, feeling in passion, look, I get it, Haley. I was a career fundraiser. I had a W-2 paycheck, for the first 17 years of my career. The next 17 years, basically, I was a consultant, but I just loved what I did so much. It was easy for me to say, I'm a fundraising consultant. Let's go. Like, you really want to hire me. Later in coaching and to create my own business it took me time, and I did suffer and struggle, and I did cry and rail, and I did fail so many times. I mean, and I still do. You know, the God's honest truth is anybody who presents themselves as anything other than, yeah, I'm a work in progress in my business, in my personal business, they're not really being authentic. You know, right now I have a Qigong class that I'm teaching. I got to sell it, Haley. It's like life changing stuff, but I still got to get out there and talk about it. But I practice Qigong every day. I use it in my business, I use it in my life, and I use it with all my clients. I'm like, you want to take my Qigong class. So, confidence selling is really just like you said, it's offering an opportunity to really make a difference in someone else's life.
Yes, amen. So, where can people find you online, connect with you, all that good stuff?
Yeah, thank you so much. I just really love this and really appreciate this opportunity. I'm Susan Axelrod, the confidence coach. One of my greatest teachings, I teach LinkedIn. That's one of the places I hang out. You can find me there at Susan Axelrod. Is when people look for you, what are they going to find? A conversation perhaps for another time, Haley. And so when you look for me, you'll find me at LinkedIn. I'm active on my Facebook page under my name, Susan Axelrod. And you can find me on YouTube, Susan Axelrod in the Confidence Zone. And my website, Haley, is this, whatwillyourlegacybe.com.
All right, great website name.
Yeah.
And for those of you who are curious about Millennial Life Coaches, which we touched on today, we'll put a link in the show notes at haleyrowe.com. It's great. And the freebie of the day, because I've given a freebie every episode, is the From Crickets to Clients free series, taking you through how to make a freebie funnel that grows your sales. And Susan had been watching the live replay, which is the thing she was referencing earlier, but I have some of the replays up from a past masterclass in there at haleyrowe.com/live event, all one word. And thank you so much for being here. Is there any final words of wisdom you want to leave with the audience?
Yes, I do. If you are in this audience and you're a coach and you feel your service line deeply in your gut, meditate on it, breathe it in, pray if you pray, do your own grounding and trust yourself. If you need help, ask for it. If you need advice, find a great coach. Just trust yourself, because we need you to do what you do confidently and well.
I love that. Yes, you can't go wrong with trusting yourself. And thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, take